Welcome to the Pinkpill RX podcast, hosted by Katie and Jay Fillmore, where we navigate complex and thought-provoking topics surrounding women with a focus on education. For shorter form content, follow us on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube at Caters88 or Pinkpill RX.
That's KATORS88.
If you enjoy this podcast, please give us a follow and maybe a nice review.
Our free access research library is available and live. You can find the link in our show notes. We are so excited about this because we took our cited sources from that mess of a Google document and we integrated them into a interface, like a search engine kind of thing. It is now live and available for free to everyone. So the library currently contains 800 plus cited sources that you can browse and search by source, topic, and podcast episode. We're still actively integrating additional sources, tags, labels, and other features, so you'll continue to see the library improve over the coming weeks. Also, coming August 17th will be our premium research library. We are launching a similar library to our free one, except in addition to everything that's included in the free library, almost every source in the premium database includes expandable article summaries, major claims made by the publication, key statistics referenced, research notes and context, full keyword search across the database, meaning that you can search a word and if it's even in the summary or the major claims or the statistics, it will show up. The goal is to make finding, understanding, and citing research dramatically faster, whether you're fact-checking, doing your own reading, or looking for the evidence behind topics we discuss. And if you're a podcast listener, we'll be sharing an exclusive promo code during the episode airing August 17th, which is the same day the premium research library launches. So whether you use the free library or decide to upgrade, we hope it becomes a valuable resource for anyone who wants to explore the evidence for themselves. Welcome to our first mini episode where we're going to talk about mini things that aren't maybe a full episode worth of length, but are still interesting nonetheless. Here we go. Do you remember when everyone used to refer to a white ribbed tank top that a guy wore as a wife beater?
Yes, and I wore them.
And that was just acceptable.
You know, I was jarring the first time I heard it as a kid. I was like, I'm sorry, that's called a what?
I thought it was a white beater.
So did I.
For a long time.
I thought it was a white beater for a while, and then I learned it. And then it's a wife beater. Why do we call this?
Well, there's folklore behind it a little bit. It's generally believed to have developed from a combination of a notorious crime, media coverage, and cultural stereotypes. The most commonly cited origin is in 1947, a Detroit man named James Hatford Jr. was arrested for beating his wife to death. Newspapers widely published his mugshot in which he was wearing a dirty white ribbed undershirt. And the image was often captioned or described as showing the wife beater. And over time, people began associating that style of undershirt with the phrase. That association was reinforced by popular culture in the following decades. There was films such as A Streetcar Named Desire featuring violent or aggressive male characters wearing white ribbed undershirts. Television and crime shows repeatedly depicted abusive working class male stereotypes in the same clothing. And by the 1990s, the nickname wife beater had become common slang in the U.S. for the garment itself.
I can't believe we called it that.
I know. I will say it's note saying that this is kind of like folklore. There's no concrete, this is exactly how it came about.
Yeah. I feel like that's hit or miss if that's actually known with these things.
Well, now they're trying to get away from that term, so.
Yeah, what do they call them now?
I think they're just called them rib tanks.
Oh, they got to do better if they want to replace
Sleeveless undershirt.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's wild.
Okay, it's time for my tidbits.
Oh, sweet. I love the tidbits.
This is from kiwiproductions.tx on TikTok.
Okay.
Do you think the reason men can detach so quickly after having intimacy with a woman is because they are so used to closing the screen once they finish?
Oh, that took me a second to realize what you're talking about. Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting point. That's an interesting point.
Shy Girl Princessa on TikTok says, female rage is realizing that hundreds of women have been arrested since they overthrew Roe versus Wade, but not one man has been arrested since the release of the Epstein files.
Yeah. Preach that. That is so accurate and so sad. My gosh.
In May of 2025, the Johnson County Sheriff's Office in Texas ran a query in the flock safeties. Do you know what flock cameras are?
No. For birds?
This is a whole other thing. No. Flock cameras are like a big privacy issue. They basically catalog cars with bumper stickers and license plate numbers and identifiers and match you to your car so that they can track you anywhere that you go.
I hate that. What?
People are taking them down, like vandalizing them.
What do they look like? I can look it up later.
You can look it up, yeah.
I don't want to see one in my community.
So, yes, they ran a query on a nationwide license plate reader network. That's what the flock cameras do.
Okay.
They searched 83,000 cameras across multiple states to track a woman suspected of having a self-administered abortion. And the search region was logged as had an abortion, search for female.
Oh my God. This whole thing shows just how backwards our justice system is, because it reminds me of when you criminalize people who are addicted to drugs and treat it as a crime problem versus a medical problem. And so you're treating more of a socioeconomic problem, a resource problem, a medical problem, a trauma problem, as if it's a crime.
Moving on, @throwawayslav on TikTok says, I feel like guys measure their pain based on pain they have experienced. And I feel like girls measure their pain based on stuff they haven't experienced. Like I could be having the worst pain and still rate it a 6 because compared to being burned alive, it's a 6.
Oh my God. Is that true?
Yes.
That's not true. The male part's true for me.
Really? Yeah, you're not imagining like what it would be like if
of course not.
I had...
If I'm in searing pain in an emergency room and they say, what's your pain? I'm going to say 10 out of 10.
No, I know. But like when you think about your pain, are you comparing it to like the worst pain you have felt in your life?
Yeah. The worst I felt. Not the worst that's possible.
That's what I think of the worst that's possible.
I'm going to definitely catalog that and remember that if you ever talk about how bad something hurts. Because if you say like, a 4, in my mind, that could be a 7. But I'm only hearing 4 from you.
Right.
Whoa, that's a
So,
problem.
For me, like if I'm going to catalog the most pain I've ever been in my life, if I'm like comparing labor against that, it's going to be a 10. But I have not cataloged labor at a 10. I've cataloged it at like a 7 or an 8.
Wow. What's a 10? Being burned alive?
Yeah.
What's a 9?
Probably like being in a car accident and mortally wounded.
And then 8. Labor could be an 8, you said?
Yeah.
What's another thing that would be an 8?
I think like broken bones probably would be an 8.
Do you want me to give you examples of what my 10 would be?
Yes.
It's not getting burned alive.
What is it?
This is going to sound so wimpy. I don't even know if I want you to air this.
Okay, what? What's your
When
10?
I had that thing taken off my back.
Oh, yeah. You had a little cyst taken off your back.
And they had that giant needle for
It was the lidocaine shot. That's your 10?
that or the car accident I was in when I was in high school. Where like my left ankle got so just ligaments and bones just torn up.
This is so eye-opening. I wonder if this plays into like the pain bias and stuff like that, or women not being like taken seriously with their pain because women are comparing it against like what could be, not like the worst pain they've ever felt.
So you think a woman would be giving not playing down, but like giving a lower number pain value when asked at the doctor's office?
I just wonder. I don't know.
Because then doctors would probably think, oh, your pain isn't that bad. You gave it a 6. To a male doctor, a 6 is pretty low. Because it's that 6, you've been at a 10 at your worst, and 6 is where you're at. Versus you're saying 6. No, because, I could be giving birth. I could be getting shot. I could be,
Right.
have acid thrown on me. That's a 10, right?
Yes. Yes, exactly. Wow.
See, for me, acid would be like, I cannot give it a number. It is so far above everything. It'd be like 6 million. Because, a lidocaine shot
Yeah.
might be a 10 for me.
Huh. At Darling Kate Darling on TikTok says.
That's a cool name.
I know. I never understood this argument that men are visual creatures. No, they're not. It is just how we have justified their perverted behavior. If it were true that men were visual creatures, they would be that way in every category of life, not just with women. Their apartments wouldn't feel like escape rooms. They would care about what they looked like. Good. They would care about their clothes, their appearance, and their skin. I'm talking about heterosexual men, by the way. Do you know who does care about all that stuff? Women. Women are visual creatures.
That is, you know what? She makes some really strong points there.
I looked into a little research on this because I had to. There's 3 studies I wanted to touch on. One in 2004, which was studying the brain's response to erotic images, found that men show stronger activations in areas like the amygdala and hypothalamus when viewing identical sexual images as women. It's consistent with somewhat of a bigger role of visual cues in male sexual behavior. There was a 2008 study that was an eye tracking study, and these experiments where people view erotic or romantic scenes, men looked longer at the opposite sex body, while women distributed their attention more evenly, including same-sex figures and context, suggesting men focus more narrowly on visual sexual cues. Now in 2019, they did another study. They found similar overall brain excitability to erotic images in men and women. And their studies indicated that both sexes are visually responsive. The difference comes in is the patterns of attention and context. It's not just simple like men are more visual than women. It's women paid attention to slightly different things in the images than men did. So men might linger longer on certain parts of the body while women were like lingering on the context of the image.
So men are super zoomed in on what they are looking at. And
yes.
Women are seeing the bigger picture of what's being portrayed?
Yes. In that study, I think they were arguing more that it wasn't necessarily, men are more visual than women. It's just women paid attention to things slightly differently than men did.
For men, there is something to be learned there. I'm just saying, if you're paying attention to what your partner pays attention to, things are going to go better for everybody. I hope for those of you listening, something was intriguing or sparked a curiosity, or you felt affirmed or challenged. Stay educated. Take the pink pill. If you enjoyed this podcast, please give us a follow and maybe a nice review.